Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off. Oh, there once was a hero named Ragnar the Red who came riding to Whiterun.
So, what do we have here? Let me guess. By your scent, I'd say you were from the guild. But that can't be true, because I told Mercer I wouldn't deal with them anymore. I don't deal in land or property. Now, if you're looking for goods, you've come to the right person. Oh, wait. Did you say Goldenglow Estate? My apologies. I'm sorry to say I know very little about that, bee farm, was it? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I can't be expected to remember every deal I handle. Well, now that you mention it, there is something I've been trying to get my hands on. I have a buyer looking for a case of Firebrand wine. There just so happens to be a single case in the Blue Palace. Bring it to me, and we'll talk about Goldenglow Estate. Ah, I see you have the wine. Hand it over, and we'll talk. Good. Can't have the buyer getting impatient and looking elsewhere for this, can we? Here, take this. I certainly can't use it, but I suppose I need to pay you something for the goods. Not at all. I consider it an investment in prolonging my life. As far as Goldenglow Estate goes, I'll tell you what I know. I was approached by a woman who wanted me to act as the broker for something big. She flashed a bag of gold in my face and said all I had to do was pay Arengoth for the estate. I brought in the coin and walked away with her copy of the deed. Not at all. I tend not to ask too many questions when I'm on the job. I'm sure you understand. However, I did notice she was quite angry, and it was being directed at Mercer Frey. In this business, we rarely deal in names. Our identity comes from how much coin we carry. Look, that's all I know. I never promised you I'd have all the answers. Now, since our transaction is done, I'll be on my way.
You know you can afford a septim or two.
Now there's no need to do anything rash. This isn't as bad as it seems. I was gonna tell Mercer about everything, honestly. Please, he'll have me killed. All right. It's Karliah. Her name is Karliah. Mercer never told you about her? Karliah is the thief responsible for murdering the previous guildmaster, Gallus. Now she's after Mercer. Help? No. Look, I didn't even know it was her until after she contacted me. Please, you have to believe me. I don't know. When I asked her where she was going, she just muttered, "Where the end began." Here, take the Goldenglow Estate deed as proof. And when you speak to Mercer, tell him I'm worth more to him alive.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. I can't wait here forever. Nice weather for a ride. Hope it lasts.
How could I complain when I went from Saviorn's lackey to one of the wealthiest merchants in Whiterun in no time at all? Plus, the meadery's doing so well, I'm almost having trouble keeping up with the demand. I'd say things couldn't be any better.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. It's almost getting downright hot now.
Maven was down here right before you got back, and she was all smiles. I haven't seen her like that in a long time. Whatever you did at Honningbrew, you're now on her good side. Best of all, if she's happy, Mercer's happy. Keep it up, and you'll go places. Now that you mention it, there is. I have a buyer with, shall we say, a very odd taste in literature, looking for some particular books. I'm told they're the ravings of a madman, a wizard named Arundel, and his peculiar cravings. It's said to be spread across 4 volumes and very hard to come by. My client is offering quite a reward for them, which I'd split with you. Then we have a deal. In his later years, Arundel moved into some ice caves known as Ingvild. He preferred the solitude in which to perform his experiments. Recently, a woman was found, naked and shivering along the road to Dawnstar. The only information the guard could get from her were tales of strange experiments, and Arundel scribbling in his journals. Only rumors. He used to have a home in Dawnstar until they burned it down. The people say he was doing unspeakable experiments on reanimation, rituals only a necromancer would perform. After he made for Ingvild, he was never heard from again.
When a client needs us to eliminate another, we don't operate like the Dark Brotherhood. We find alternate means to get them out of the way. We send you to plant some phony evidence in the Mark's house and then tip off the town guard. The rest takes care of itself. Sound like you can handle it? Fine, just keep it clean. Here you go.
Well, I was looking for this little beauty. If you happen across any other unusual trinkets like this, be sure to bring them to me. I promise it'll be worth the effort. This should compensate you for your find. Well, I was looking for this little beauty. If you happen across any other unusual trinkets like this, be sure to bring them to me. I promise it'll be worth the effort. I think you'll find this payment to be more than fair. Well, I was looking for this little beauty. If you happen across any other unusual trinkets like this, be sure to bring them to me. I promise it'll be worth the effort. There you go. This should cover it. Find me if you're ever looking for some extra coin.
Did Gulum-Ei give up any information on our buyer? No, it can't be. I haven't heard that name in decades. This is grave news indeed. She's someone I hope to never cross paths with again. Karliah destroyed everything this guild stood for. She murdered my predecessor in cold blood and betrayed the guild. After we discovered what she'd done, we spent months trying to track her down, but she just vanished. Karliah and I were like partners. I went with her on every heist. We watched each other's backs. I know her techniques, her skills. If she kills me, there'll be no one left that could possibly catch her. If only we knew where she was. There's only one place that could be. A place where she murdered Gallus. A ruin called Snow Veil Sanctum. We have to go out there before she disappears again. Yes, I'm going with you, and together we're going to kill her. Here's your payment for Solitude. Prepare yourself and meet me at the ruins as soon as you can. We can't let her slip through our fingers.
There are all sorts of people wandering around carrying their valuables on their person, just waiting for someone like you to pick their pocket. So, you in for a little fishing? Just remember the rules. Keep it clean and keep it quiet. Here's the details.
Well, looks like you're fitting in well down here. I'm supposed to allow you to trade in one of your pieces of guild armor. So what will it be? Of course. Otherwise it wouldn't be much of a reward, now would it? Your new piece will enhance your skill beyond that of the original. Trust me. Tough luck for you, then. Come back when you have at least one of the pieces.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off. You ever met one of them cats? Khajiit, I think they called themselves.
Good. You're finally here. I've scouted the ruins and I'm certain Karliah is still inside. No, I found her horse. Don't worry, I've taken care of it. She won't be using it to escape. Let's get moving. I want to catch her inside while she's distracted. Take the lead. I'm sorry, I was under the impression I was in charge. You're leading and I'm following. Does that seem clear to you? Just make certain you keep your eyes open. Karliah is as sharp as a blade. The last thing I need is you blundering into a trap and warning her that we're here. I have a long-standing arrangement with the Dark Brotherhood. If I need someone in the guild taken care of, we do it ourselves. We both agree it's best to keep these matters in-house. "25 years ago, I was standing outside these very same ruins. Gallus told me to meet here, but he wouldn't say why. When I arrived, Gallus stepped from the shadows. Before he uttered a sound, an arrow pierced his throat. Before I could even draw my blade, her second arrow found its mark in my chest. Karliah was a master marksman, and her greatest weapon was the element of surprise. I was lucky. She missed my heart by mere inches. I staggered away from the ruins and my vision began to blur. It's then that I realized the bitch had poisoned her arrows. The last thing I saw was Karliah dumping his body into an opening atop the ruins. An unceremonious end for a remarkable man. To this day, I've regretted allowing her to escape, even if it meant I had died trying. I owed Gallus that much. The guild was thrown into disarray. Several stepped up and tried to claim Gallus's former position as guildmaster. Sides quickly formed behind these men, and the Ratway became a bloodbath. I saw what they did to Gallus. I wanted to use the guild's resources to hunt down Karliah. The others didn't even care he was gone. Fortunately, I persevered, and the other groups were either killed or they left Skyrim. The infighting had taken months to subside, which gave her time to go into hiding and carefully cover her tracks. I spent thousands of septum and used every contact at my disposal. But it was as if she had simply vanished. Like I said before, she was the best. She was a stubborn Dunmer. Always had to do everything her way. But she was also the best, bringing in more coin a month than some thieves heist in a year. Gallus trusted her too much and let her get too close. If you want to call it that, yes. Me? I think she was softening him for the kill. Gallus would call her his little nightingale. He was absolutely smitten by her. Greed? Jealousy? Spite? Who can say what drove her to such an iniquitous act? One thing's certain, I intend to find out before she draws her last breath. Keep your eyes open, your mouth shut. They say that these ancient Nordic burial mounds are sometimes impenetrable. This one doesn't look too difficult. Quite simple, really. I don't know what the fuss is about these locks. All it takes is a bit of know-how, not a lot of skill. That should do it. After you. What? What is it? Stench in here. This place smells of death. Be on your guard. What was that? Pull the chain over there and watch out for the spikes. Looks like Karliah reset all of the traps. You're quite noisy for someone who claims to be a thief. How disappointing. Not a threat, merely an annoyance. Making this too easy! Arledge. What was that? Wait the draws are hiding yet. Don't blunder into any of them. Who's there? You can't hide from me! Is that the best you can do? Will adorn my blade. What was that? That was hardly worth my time. What was that? We're on the right track. She's been through here as well. That door up ahead. Looks perfect for hiding an ambush. You ready? Feeble attempt to hide is insulting. I'll spit on your corpse! Ah, it's one of the infamous Nordic puzzle doors. How quaint. Without the matching claw, they're normally impossible to open. Since I'm certain Karliah already did away with it, we're on our own. Fortunately, these doors have a weakness if you know how to exploit it. Quite simple, really. Karliah's close, I'm certain of it. Now let's get moving. That's enough of this unnecessary chatting. We need to keep going. Do you honestly think your arrow will reach me before my blade finds your heart?
Give me a reason to try.
You're a clever girl, Karliah. Buying Goldenglow Estate and funding Honningbrew meadery was inspired.
To ensure an enemy's defeat, you must first undermine his allies. It was the first lesson Gallus taught us.
You always were a quick study.
Not quick enough, otherwise Gallus would still be alive.
Gallus had his wealth and he had you. All he had to do was look the other way.
Did you forget the oath we took as nightingales? Did you expect him to simply ignore your methods?
Enough of this mindless banter. Come, Karliah. It's time for you and Gallus to become reunited.
I'm no fool, Mercer. Crossing blades with you would be a death sentence. But I can promise the next time we meet, it will be your undoing.
How interesting. It appears Gallus's history has repeated itself. Karliah has provided me the means to be rid of you, and this ancient tomb becomes your final resting place. But do you know what intrigues me the most? The fact that this was all possible because of you. Farewell. I'll be certain to give Brynjolf your regards.